Hallo, wie geht's? Ich bin der Thomas und ich bin wieder da. Willkommen, ja, ich heiße Thomas und wir sind hier etwas Deutsch zu üben. Ja, ich bin froh, dass du hier bist, dass ihr hier seid, nicht wahr? Mit mir. Ja, das ist schön. Noch einmal etwas Deutsch zu üben. Yeah, so once again, welcome. This is Thomas. You can call me Thomas in German, Thomas. And this is the Esperanto Variety Show. We have videos in Esperanto and about Esperanto. And going into 2019, we have additional tips on language learning in general. And for the last several weeks, we've been doing this German live stream where we go through some Duolingo. If you are a Duolingo user, I would encourage you to bring up Duolingo on another device and practice along. If you have any questions about anything that you see in your own practice, mention it in the chat here on the live stream. If you're watching the replay, of course, you can crank the speed up or skip ahead, that sort of thing. All right, so I'm going to get started here in just a second. I'm going to got a few bits of housekeeping here. Let's see here. What did I want to mention? Oh yeah, here we go. This was my excitement for the last week. I was thinking about whether we should continue these live streams. The views were actually fairly low for the last one, and so I put the link out here saying if you guys want to see this continue, have a look at the stream and leave a comment. And I actually got quite a few views on the stream, but the watch time was still very low, actually lower than it was from the YouTube notifications, which makes me think that the people that saw the link weren't really all that interested in this format, which is fine. This is good for people that want to practice along with Duolingo. But eventually, so I had a student who I shall call Shamanyo, said that she would like to see another live stream. So in her honor, we're doing this again today. We'll see how this takes shape. I invited some German-speaking English learners to join us as well. So if you're learning English, welcome. Let me know in the chat if I'm speaking too fast or if I'm not speaking clearly. Sometimes I get excited when I'm doing the live stream. One problem I have, and the reason why I'm mentioning this, is I thought it would be a good idea to ask for feedback, and believe me, sometimes I get too much feedback doing things on YouTube. Lots of people were saying it was too slow, and that's we kind of know that. That's why I encourage you to bring up Duolingo on another device and practice along. So that's basically what we're doing here today. I'll be working on Duolingo. A little bit about myself. I have been speaking German for about 30 years. And so I get on Duolingo from time to time to brush up. I'm working on getting a C1 certificate this year, and we'll see how that goes. But it's all right. So this is the part of the stream where I try to figure out what I need to have open and what I don't. I needed this open in order to get the live stream started, but I don't need it now. And I need to click on this if I want to hear what you guys or see what you guys are saying to me. So bear with me 1 minute. If you're watching the replay, feel free to hit the L key to skip ahead. All right, we're doing German, so I need to click on this. I need to mute my sound so I don't hear my voice echoing in my ear. Thank you for the like, by the way. Thank you for vielen Dank für die Daumen hoch. It's nice of you guys to say that before you even know whether this is going to be good. Shamanyo, hallo. Es ist wirklich cool, dass du hier bist. Danke für die Idee. Alena, hallöchen. Hallo, Holly. Yes, einige Menschen grüßen mich auf Esperanto und heute machen wir Deutsch. All right, so we're doing German today. If you are interested in Esperanto, I got to show you this before I get into the Duolingo. If you are here for Esperanto, please come back on Wednesday. Well, you're welcome. You're of course welcome to stay. We're doing German today. But if you are really keen for some Esperanto, come back on Wednesday. We'll have another live stream just like this and a new video on Thursday. This comment that I'm looking for is actually one that I got on YouTube. I'm not sure whether they found it on YouTube or whether they followed it back from my comment in Duolingo. And he said, there is too much rambling about Esperanto. I actually went back and watched the live stream he was talking about. I said there's an Esperanto stream coming up this week, and something funny happened on the Esperanto stream before then. And I think I probably also said, by the way, this is German, not Esperanto. So, yeah, you can't please everybody. So here we go. One of the things that I'm trying to do with these is to include a sort of a mini lesson in German and try to relate this to some of the sentences we're seeing. In the past episodes, if you want to go back and look, I've done to be, right? Sein, ich bin, du bist, er, sie, es ist. Ich bin, du bist, er, sie, es ist. I've done the irregular verb haben. Ich habe, du hast, er, sie, es hat. And then I've also done some regular verbs. And it actually, I saw a question on the German forum this week. Somebody said, what's the difference between sind and, no, what's the difference between sind and seid? So that's why it's important to learn these conjugations, or at least learn what conjugation is. And that's, of course, how the verb changes depending on what the subject of the verb is. So today I wanted to take a look at verbs, what they call irregular verbs with a stem vowel change. And essen is a good example of one. Essen, which means to eat. And so if it were regular, this do and z, this do and the LZS forms, right, the second and third person singular, as we call them, would start with an E. But because it's irregular, you say, ich esse, du isst, LZS ist, wir essen, du esst, sie essen. And again, I would recommend repeating these over and over again until you can just say them. Ich esse, du isst, er, sie, es ist, wir essen, du esst, sie essen. Ich esse, du isst, er, sie, es ist, wir essen, du esst, sie essen. I think I mentioned this in a previous week. The he, she, it, er, sie, es is pronounced the same whether it's he, she, it is, or he, she, it eats. So my wife would always laugh at me when I would do an exercise where it was, sie ist eine Banane, which sounds like she is a banana, and it actually could mean she is eine Banane, but it means she eats a banana because of the way it's spelled. And I have some more verbs that are in this category. Well, maybe we'll come back to this in a little bit. We'll come back to this in a little bit. I'm trying to remember that we have second language speakers on the phone, on the call as well. And I want to make sure my English is clear. And it's, if I'm not mistaken, vergessen. What does vergessen mean? I don't remember. Okay. Vergessen means to forget, and follows the same pattern as essen. So ich vergesse, du vergisst, er, sie, es vergisst, wir vergessen, du vergesst, sie vergessen. If I'm wrong, please let me know. And yeah, so we'll come back, we'll do some more. Hopefully we'll find some irregular verbs with stem vowel changes as we go through some exercises. All right, so again, I'm looking for any suggestions about what unit you want to start with today. Otherwise, I will just pick one and hope. Okay, yeah, this is why the people watching say that the format is a little bit too chaotic. But again, the plan here today is to do some Duolingo and interact with you guys who are on the chat as soon as I can find out which tab you're on. There we go. All right, so Fernando. Ich bin im Staat New York, das heißt in der Vereinigten Staaten. Ja, hallo, Bonchans Ulo. Wo in Deutschland bleibst du? Ruhrgebiet. Ruhrgebiet. Isn't that sort of on the, over here, near, ganz im Westen in der Nähe zu den Niederlanden. Do plurals, please. Well, all right. So let me see if I can find plurals. And hopefully we'll have some irregular stem verbs in plurals. Oh, I got to remember to turn my sound on. Again, I always like to remind people to check on the light bulb icon for the tips and notes, regardless of which language you're doing. It's always good to see what kind of information is out there for Duolingo. Duolingo and or the course contributors has put out there for you to use. Yeah, so in English, making plurals out of singular nouns is usually as straightforward as adding an S, dog, dogs. Oh yes, here we go. But in German, there's lots and lots and lots of ways of doing it. Okay, so I'll let you guys on your own take a look at this, and we'll break it down as we go. Okay. Oh, I suppose I can just click on Start Lesson, because I'm not testing out. All right, plurals. Oh, you know what? I'm going to test out. Why? Because I can. All right, plurals test. Jump to level 3. Mention essen Tiere. Look at that. Right on the very first one, we have a verb with a stem vowel change. So let's say I want to say I eat animals. How would I say I eat animals? You don't need to answer the chat. Say it out loud. Ich esse Tiere. But that's not what we're translating. We're doing Menschen essen Tiere, because Menschen is plural, so it's ich esse, du isst, sie, es isst, wir essen, sie, ihr esst, sie essen. So it's sie essen, they eat, people eat. Menschen essen. People eat animals. All right, I'm going to turn my sound up. Hopefully you guys can overhear that a little bit. Tier, das Tier, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I wish, you know what, this is the problem with this idea is I don't know all these cold anymore. But yeah, Tiere. Tier is singular, Tiere is plural.
Obst, Gemüse, Eier.
Obst, Gemüse, Eier. Fruit, vegetables, and eggs. So I, spelled E-I, is egg. Eier is the plural. So it's I adds ER to make it plural. Eier. Fruit and vegetables, I think, are uncountable. Just like fruit is in English. Uh-oh, what did I do wrong? Fruit, I added the word and. Okay, well, them's the breaks. That's what happens. Spiders eat insects. Die Spinne. So die Spinne is singular. The spider. Die Spinnen. Spinnen. All right, so it's they eat. Ich esse, du. Let's come back and look at the example. Ich esse. Oops, that's not the example. That's Esperanto Variety Show, which I'm going to close. Thanks for subscribing, by the way. And use the bell if you want to be notified next time we go live. Ich esse, du isst, sie, es isst. Wir essen, du esst, sie essen. So this is, Spinnen is they. Sie essen. Sie essen. Oh, but yeah, here we go. Fressen. So yeah, so animals eat something, we use the word fressen. Spinnen fressen Insekten. Insekten. Spinnen fressen Insekten. Oh.
Kühe sind Tiere.
Kühe sind Tiere. Kuh is a cow, eine Kuh. And Kühe, is cows, plural. Tier is an animal. Tiere with the E on the end is plural. So cows are animals. Oh, yeah, so Erdbeere, right? Erdbeere, eine Erdbeere is a strawberry. And Erdbeeren is plural. Erdbeeren sind lecker. Sie sind lecker. Erdbeeren, literally earth berries. All right, let me make sure that's correct before we walk away from that one. And yeah, so what's going on here? Wir hören das Duolingo-Kurs. Ja, das stimmt. Manche Menschen essen Tiere. Ja, wenn ich keinen Gast habe, dann kann ich das Gebrauch von Duolingo auch durchspielen, damit ihr das hören könntet. I am so bad with the formal familiar form, ihr. It's something I've never had to use, or at least not in any kind of regularity, so I'm like very rusty on that. All right, Jody, willkommen. Es freut mich, dass auch du bist hier, ja. All right. Ja, Jody spricht Deutsch, aber du und ich haben niemals Deutsch miteinander gesprochen, nicht wahr? Okay, let's do some more of this exercise.
Enten sind Vögel.
Enten, die Ente is the duck, so Enten is ducks. Der Vogel is the bird. Vögel with the dots on the O are birds. All right, so ducks are birds. Yep. And I don't know any other way to learn these plurals other than making flashcards with them on there. So potatoes. Oh, here comes some more random rambling about Esperanto. But in Esperanto, I know because at least half the people watching live are Esperanto speakers. How do we say? Think about this for a second. How do we say potato in? Oh yeah. Oh, I'm mixing up my languages now. Sorry. I was thinking of terpomo, which is literally the earth apple, and aardappel is Dutch for potato. But in German, we say Kartoffel, which to me sounds like earth apple, Kartoffel. I'm sure in the deep, dark histories of etymology, it did mean earth apple. Anyway, Kartoffeln sind lecker, sind gut. Gut. Ja, sind gut. Kartoffeln sind gut. Gut für die gesund. So, Kartoffeln.
Kartoffeln sind gut.
Potatoes are good. Oh, and this time I'm going to remember not to say and. Fruit, vegetables, eggs. Obst, Gemüse, Eier. Das Ei, is it das Ei, der Ei? Eine Ei. I can't remember. Der, die, or das Ei. Who can help me out there?
Spinnen fressen Insekten.
Spinnen fressen Insekten. Spinnen, die Spinne, die Spinnen. Spiders. Fressen, that's eat. Insekten. Menschen. Der Mensch is a human. Essen. Tier.
Erdbeeren sind lecker.
Strawberries are tasty. All right, so here's a question to think about before I hit enter. What if we wanted to say one strawberry? A strawberry is tasty. I would say eine Erdbeere ist lecker. Pretty sure. Anyway. Die Maus Mäuse or Mäusen. So here's the trickier one. So mouse, I'm going to say, is pretty obviously singular. Obvious only because I know that mouse and house have rhymed in Germanic languages for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years. So mouse is the same. It means mouse. So the question then becomes, to make it plural, do you add the E or the EN? And there's also a stem change. So it's mouse, Mäuse, mouse, Mäusen. I don't remember. I think it's Mäuse, but we'll find out. Yes, Mäuse. So it's, oh gosh, I can't remember whether it's der Maus or das Maus. Der Maus. Don't remember. I need to come back and see if you guys can help me out in the chat. Is it? All right. Manche Menschen essen Tiere. Ja, das ist schon klar. In manchen Regionen Deutschlands sagt man auch Erdäpfel. Ah, yeah. Erdäpfel. Yeah, that's not all that surprising. Yeah, so in some parts of Germany, they actually do say Erdäpfel. Deutschlands. In manche Regionen, so you have to say this the right way. In manchen Regionen Deutschlands sagt man auch Erdäpfel. Sometimes Apfelkartoffel is mehr gemein. Oh, yeah. Oh, there should be a period in there. I see what's wrong there. Sometimes it's Erdapfel. Kartoffel ist mehr gemein. Die Mäuse. Yeah, die Mäuse. Yes. Good job. Shamanyo. Die Maus. Oh, my gosh. I have to go back and learn so much basic. It's back to school for you, Thomas. Die Maus. Da ist eine Maus in mein Haus. Okay. Der Mann isst. Oh, so what does he eat? Banane. Eine Banane. Yeah, I said that in the beginning. Yeah. So I think maybe we're going to have essen as our only irregular, or our only verb with a stem vowel change in this test out, but at least it comes up enough. And it's the one that I mentioned before. Sie isst eine Banane. Der Mann isst eine Banane. The man is a banana, or the man eats a banana, depending on whether it's one S or two. Der Mann isst, but in this case, he's not eating just one, he's eating more than one. So is it bananas, bananen, banana? Well, I'm going to say it's definitely not banana. Bananen, bananas, bananas, bananen. I think it's bananen. I'm a little nervous here. Oh, yes. Oh, man. This is a funny experience here, doing this with people watching, because sometimes I'm very confident in German and sometimes I'm not. So, yeah, I appreciate those of you who I can help, and I appreciate those of you who are keeping me honest and keeping me moving forward. All right, so Mädchen, so this Mädchen is a verb that doesn't change in the plural. So it's das Mädchen and die Mädchen. Let's see if I can keep that. Mädchen. Please be right. Oh, it's thinking it over. What happened? Why is it taking so long? All right, all right. I want to make sure you guys can still hear me. My Duolingo connection is clocking. Fledermaus, Fledermaus, die Fledermaus. Oh yes. Elena is a very musical person, and click D. Never say it's D. Never say die. There we go. Click D. Well, I think I already clicked on something. Die Maus, die Fledermaus. Ich sage ab und zu Baumkartoffel. Yeah, I like to joke around and talk about sky potatoes in English. If I have a regular apple, I can call them sky potatoes. You have to click the D. Is that what I'm doing wrong? Oh. Okay, so it's not my internet going down. All right. It's me not following the instructions. It's a good thing you guys are watching. Otherwise, I'd be sitting here all day in my house by myself.
Sie lesen Zeitungen.
Sie lesen Zeitungen. Die Zeitung is the newspaper. Zeitungen is newspapers. She. Oh, it's not she, is it? What is it? It's either they or you. And I'm sure the course will take either. They read newspapers. All right, so here's the question to the learners there, especially the very beginner learners. How do we know this is they read and not she reads? How do we know this is they read? How do we know this is they read and not she reads? It's because the verb. Because of the verb. Sie lesen means you or they read. Sie liest. Oh, actually, this. Oh, look at that. All right, so let me come back to my lesson. I think this is another verb with a stem. Well, it's not on. Oh, it is right here. Yep, lesen. Ich lese, du liest, sie es liest, and the rest is regular. Ich lese, du liest, sie es liest, sie lesen, ihr lest. Oh my gosh, I've gotten out of practice. Ich lese, du liest, sie es liest, wir lesen. Oh my gosh. Nobody corrected me on this. It's ihr. Oh, all right. You guys are all too polite to tell me that I got my conjugation table wrong. Yep. Sie lesen. It would be, if it were she reads, it would be sie es liest. This one right here. But it's sie lesen, which means she reads, or they read.
Die Pferde.
Die Pferde. I'm pretty sure it's, oh, again, I can't remember what it's, what the singular, what the gender is for Pferd. Ein Pferd is a horse. Die Pferde is the horses.
Er hat Pferde.
Er hat Pferde. He has horses. All right. I was wondering about the du ist, ihr esst. Nun, ich weiß. Das Pferd. Das Pferd, die Pferde. Das Pferd, die Pferde. Horses. Okay. Oh boy.
Die Bären heißen Hans und Karl.
Die Bären heißen Hans und Karl. That is really funny. I'm not used to bears having names. Hallo Hans, hallo Karl. Wie geht's? Ja, geht's gut. Ja, was ist neu? Ja, ich bin im Wald Kacken gemacht. The bears are named Hans and Karl.
Wir essen die Fische.
Wir essen die Fische. Wir essen. We are eating the fish. Wir essen die Fische. Fischer Fritz, Fischer Fritz, frische Fische, frische Fische, Fischer Fritz. We are eating the fish. All right, that was fun. All right, let's. While you guys are thinking about what unit you want to see next. Oh yeah, so let me know if there's another unit you want to see next. We're about halfway through here. Let's take a look at some more irregular verbs. So fahren auf der Autobahn. Fahren is ich fahre, du fährst, sie es fährt. Then it continues, wir fahren, ihr fahrt, sie fahren. Lesen, we already talked about. Ich lese, du liest. Sie, es liest. Nehmen, to take. Ich nehme, du nimmst. I have a card game called Nimm's Leicht. Nimm's Leicht. And it literally means take the corpse, but it's supposed to sound like Nimm's leicht. Take it easy. Ich nehme, du nimmst, sie, es nimmt. Ich spreche, du sprichst. Yeah, that's another one. Sprechen Sie Deutsch? Ja, ich spreche Deutsch. Right. So far, that's that sprechen. But if you're talking to somebody that you know well, you're informal with, du sprichst, du sprichst. Or spricht gut Deutsch. Schlafen, to sleep. Ich schlafe, du schläfst. Right, and so the pattern is the same. Usually it's the same. Notice the pattern between du and LZS, between the second and third person. The vowel is basically the same, right? And it's just, in some of the cases, notice like nehmen, right? So we have ich nehme, du nimmst, sie, es nimmt, right? So it's du nimmst, so there's an S in there. Nimmst, nimmt, nimmt. But if there's already an S in the verb, like lesen, it kind of, the S kind of disappears or gets swallowed up, or it goes all the way through, but there's only one S. So it's ich lese, du liest, sie, es liest. So that's why these two are the same. It's because there's an S in the verb itself. But the rest of them, right, the S is there for the do form. Ich treffe, du triffst, sie, es trifft. Ich sehe, du siehst, ich gebe, du gibst. Yeah, so if you want to know more about verbs with a stem vowel change, you can just search German verbs stem vowel change, and you can get all sorts of lists about them if you don't have a German book and if your Duolingo notes aren't helping you. Okay. Please do accusative case. Was über Schmoki und Bubu und Yogi Bear. Yeah. Yeah, I know there are bears. There are fictional bears that have names, and there are, I'm sure there are bears in zoos, and I'm sure there are people that see bears in their neighborhood and they start giving them names. Jody wants to do if future, accusative or future. Yeah. Well, I think we did. I remember we did a little bit of accusative. Now, let's see here. I'm thinking future is going to be all with the infinitive. So I'm going to see, I'm going to do accusative case, hoping we can get a few more verbs to tie in. A few more verbs to tie in with our stem vowel change, which is the general theme of the day. We don't necessarily have to have a theme, but I thought it would be good to start with something, some sort of mini lesson, like conjugating an irregular verb, or prepositions as we did last week. All right, so once again, irregular verbs. Ich esse, du isst, sie, es isst. Isst einen Apfel. So it's der Apfel, einen Apfel. And you know what? With the accusative, Shamanyo, you've got to take a look at they call them declensions. It's basically a chart that shows you how the nouns change depending on what case they are. So it's good. Gesundheit. Ja, mein Sohn hat da gerade genießt. Okay. So yeah, it's best to just have a look at those at the grammar charts, and if they're not in your tips and notes, I would get a book that has them or look them up online, and we can go into more that in some more detail. But anyway, I'll see if there's anything general we can pull out of here. All right. So ich habe, du hast, du hast. Hast du ein Buch? Die Milch. You know what? Do we do this exercise already? I think we did this one already. Der Apfel.
Ich trinke, du trinkst.
Yeah, this has nothing to do with accusative so far. Ich trinke. I drink, you drink. Der Apfel. Whoops.
Ich lese ein Buch. Sie liest eine Zeitung.
Ich lese ein Buch. Ich lese ein Buch. Whoops. All right, so let me translate this first. I am reading a book. She is reading a newspaper. All right, and normally I would put capitalization and punctuation in there. Duolingo doesn't care. So notice it's ich lese ein Buch, right? So ein Buch is the direct object. Eine Zeitung is the direct object. And if we're using a word like ein, then there's no difference between the nominative and the accusative. For, listen to this, for neuter and feminine nouns. Okay, so das Buch, ein Buch, is the same for nominative and accusative. Die Zeitung, eine Zeitung, is the same for nominative and accusative. But if it had been ich esse einen Apfel, because it's der Apfel.
Sie lesen eine Zeitung.
Sie lese, let me put that in slow motion.
Sie lesen eine Zeitung.
All right, so Zeitung should be a capital Z, and I should be a good example here. Zeitung, because it's a noun. Sie lesen, and I spelled that wrong. Lesen. Sie lesen eine Zeitung.
Wir lesen.
Wir lesen. We are reading. I'm sure the course would also take we
Wir
read.
trinken Wasser.
Wir trinken Wasser. We are drinking water. And there are no articles there, so we don't need to worry about whether that's accusative, although it is the direct object. He reads the newspaper. It's die Zeitung, feminine, so no change in nominative or accusative. Liest
Liest
die Zeitung.
Zeitung.
Die Männer trinken Wasser.
Die Männer trinken Wasser. The men are drinking, I'll fix that typo, drinking water. There, I fixed my typo. The men are drinking water. Die Männer trinken Wasser. Der Mann, die Männer. There's another throwback to our plurals. That's another plural you need to memorize. Der Mann, die Männer. Notice, by the way, that man in English, man and men, the vowel changes. The same thing in German. Mann, Männer. All right. They have a newspaper. Die Zeitung, feminine. Sie haben eine Zeitung.
Ihr trinkt Milch.
Oh, what's the subject? Trinkt. Trinkt Milch. I think it's er.
Ihr trinkt Milch.
Yeah, I don't like that voice. I don't find it easy to understand. Ihr. Oh. Oh, well. Move on. You have an apple. Okay, so ein Apfel would be an apple, but that would be nominative because it's der Apfel. So ein Apfel, einen Apfel, because it's an ein word with accusative and the masculine case. So der Apfel, it needs the en on it in the accusative.
Ihr.
Ihr habt einen Apfel. I'm assuming here that you all know what a direct object is, only because I know the people watching live who've commented, most of the ones that I know are people who have been through Esperanto or speak German fairly well, or are native speakers. So I'm not going to talk a lot about direct objects unless there is a question. So if you don't know what a direct object is, feel free to ask. And then other people watching can also hear the answer. Okay. In fact, let me just, while we're thinking this over, let me just see what's going on in the chat. All right, so all right, so no further comments. Now I'm curious, actually, while I'm here, who's watching? Oh, we got 3 thumbs up, thank you. And 8 people watching. Okay, so pretty good. Yeah, not too bad. So coming back to
Hast du ein Buch?
our exercise. Hast du ein Buch? Der, die oder das Buch? Das Buch. Hast du ein Buch? So because it's neuter, there's no change between nominative and accusative. So we can just say ein. Do you have a book? Question mark.
Trinkst du?
Trinkst du? Trinkst du? Are you drinking? I have a typo. What did I do wrong? Oh, I forgot the N. Trinkst du?
Ein Mann isst einen Apfel.
Ein Mann isst einen Apfel. Ein Mann isst einen Apfel. Sounds very philosophical to me. A man eats, and again, der Apfel, einen Apfel in the accusative. An apple in English. We don't need to worry about accusative.
Ein Apfel.
Ein Apfel. See, so it's einen Apfel when it's in the accusative, ein Apfel if we're just saying it. So this is nominative. So the subject case, an apple.
Sie lesen die Zeitung.
Sie lesen die Zeitung. Sie lesen die Zeitung. And so what does that mean? Needs to be a capital Z. We've already seen this word several times in this live stream, this exercise. Die Zeitung, the newspaper. They are reading the newspaper, or you are reading the newspaper. Here it says they read the newspaper, which is essentially the same thing. Just depends on context. Okay. Let's try future. Oh, you know what? I brought up some other sentences that I thought would be fun to look at. I'm just going to read these, and if I have an answer, I'll answer it. If not, I hope you guys can answer it on the chat. Right? Das Mädchen zählt Schafe. The girl is counting sheep. And so the question is this a real idiom in German? Right? In German, we talk about counting sheep. That means you're having trouble falling asleep and you're trying to imagine counting sheep. I don't know the answer. My guess is going to be that Germans count sheep when they want to get sleepy. But if they don't, I would love to be corrected on that. And somehow this is not intentional, but somehow sheep is sheep is the theme for the discussions that I found today. She would change university because of the sheep. Sie würde wegen den Schafen die Universität wechseln. And so the question was, I thought wegen was a genitive verb. Why does Duo use dative for the primary correct answer? Wegen, he thought it should be wegen der Schafe. My initial hunch is that's, I would have thought it was a genitive verb too. Oh, maybe it's because it's plural? Wegen. Yeah. Yeah, interesting. It said it was marked correct. Oh. You know what? My guess here, now that I've taken another look at it, is it's not because it's not genitive, it's because there's a question on whether there's one sheep or two, because in English, sheep can be singular and sheep can be plural. I can say the sheep is running across the grass, and that would be one sheep. And I could say the sheep are standing in the field. In that case, it would be more than one sheep. But it would be schaffen and schaff. There, I bet you. That's my answer. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Okay, that is a human. Das ist ein Mensch. So here's a question. It would be, so since Mensch is masculine, this is a total random question, but related to what we were just talking about. Why is it not einen Mensch? Because, right, because we think that it would be ein Mensch would be a nominative, and einen Mensch would be accusative. And the answer is, you don't use accusative with sein. For you Esperanto speakers out there, it's the same thing. No N with estas, no accusative with sein, with ist, bist. All right, somebody wrote, das ist Mensch. This is an interesting question, and I don't know how to answer it. Das ist Mensch. He said, I've seen examples in Duo where one does not include ein. I'm thinking that probably has to do with, like, ich bin Student, right? So professions and that sort of thing. Let's see. Oh, that's exactly what the answer this person gave is. The main situation in which you would not use ein would be somebody's profession. Ist Arzt. Arzt. Okay, any other interesting questions there? Oh, 20, yeah, you know what? Actually, I have the same question now that I've read the question. 20 Familien leben hier. 20 families live here. And so the question is wohnen. Why is it not wohnen? And so my hunch here is that wohnen would be like they all live together in one house, and leben would mean they kind of go about their lives in this area. Oh. Oh, and then he says, ignore me. The actual problem is that I messed up Familien. Okay. Spelled Familien wrong. Yeah, eine Familie, 20 Familien. I know we were talking about plurals, so there we go. Eine Familie, 20 Familien. Yeah, this one is not all that interesting. Das Opfer blutet stark. And then the person says, the sentence sounds weird in English. Quite frankly, I'm not all that. I'm starting to lose patience for comments about saying the English is a little bit goofy. I mean, we're translating sentences. Yeah, but yeah, if somebody had a question like, you know, I'm curious whether this is good in English. I don't know. I think that I would have a little more patience for that. But if somebody just wants to insist that the English could be more natural in Duolingo, I think that would be fine if you were doing the English course. But if you're doing the German course, the point is to understand the German as far as I'm concerned. All right. Die Geschwindigkeit des Autos ist jetzt normal. And somebody wants to know, how about das Autos Geschwindigkeit ist jetzt normal? I think my guess is that that's probably wrong. No, it won't work. There we go. You can change the word order, but you must preserve the cases. Oh, that's interesting. Des Autos Geschwindigkeit ist jetzt normal. It sounds a bit awkward, though. Yeah, I think there are. Anyway, I'm not going to get into that. But anyway, that was fun. And I've got a few minutes left here. Maybe we can do the future tense. Probably a good choice. Okay, what did I wish there was some way I could see the chat and the other thing at the same time. I don't have that really worked out very well. But anyway, ja, angeblich zählen manche Menschen Schafe, einzuschlafen, which now makes me wonder, where did that tradition come from? Where did anybody get the idea that counting sheep was a good thing to do to make you sleepy? And how do shepherds stay awake during the day? That's the real question. Sie würde wegen der Schafe die Universität wechseln. Klingt natürlicher. Sie würde wegen der Schafe. All right, so I'm gonna paste this into the other page so I can look at it, but I'm not gonna actually post it. So don't panic here. Where is it? 20. Oh, it was the second one. Did I close it? Oh, here it is. So, sie würde, yeah, that's the same. Wegen der Schafe, because of the one sheep, right? Yeah, der Schafe. Wegen der Schafe. So here's my question. Here's what's not clear to me. When I say werde der Schafe, how many sheep are there? Is it one sheep or several sheep? And if I said wegen den Schafen, is that one sheep? Wegen der Schafe. I think it depends on how many sheep there are, which again is ultimately one of the problems with this Duolingo is we don't really know the context. So it's eventually the question of what's a reasonable thing to say kind of goes away because we're not really sure what we're trying to communicate. We're trying to talk about language rather than actually communicate. All right. Let me pull up future. Did we say future one? Future one. Let me double check to see if that's what Jody said she was working on. And future one, okay. Sie sind die Ärzte. They are the doctors. Mehrere Schafe. All right, good. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yep. Sonst heißt es, sie würde wegen des Schafes. Oh. Even more interesting. Okay, let me take one more look. See if I can make sense of this. Sie würde wegen der Schafe. All right, so basically, Holy Septexes is agreeing with, whoops, I'm messing up my languages again. Holy 67 is agreeing with Warenbrau 3. Okay. All right, let's do some more exercises, see if I got a few more minutes to go, and let me see how far I can get through. I'm just going to crank through this. Ready? Power mode. I'm going to do a start, which means I'll see things that I'm not used to because I'm doing. Ich werde Suppe essen. I will eat soup. What? Where's my will? I am going to eat soup. There it is. I am going to. I'm going to eat soup. By the way, for any English as a second language students, don't ask me the difference between I am going to and I will. I have a worksheet for that, and I always have to review it because it's something that I just do, and the rules are not 100% strictly enforced. Like I will do something, I'm going to do something. There's lots of rules of thumb, but a hard and fast rule is hard to come by as far as I'm concerned. She will never talk to me again. Sie werden. Sie wird nie wieder mit mir sprechen. Reden. Right. Sie wird nie wieder mit mir reden. And this is one of those ones where you need to start developing the sense for the word order. And you look in the German books when they explain this kind of word has to come after that kind of word, and I don't know. I just find the more you listen to, the more it just seems natural where you put these words. Ich weiß nicht, was passieren wird. Ich weiß nicht. I know not, or I do not know in this case. I do not know. Was passieren wird? What will happen? Notice that wird which is the auxiliary verb for future, goes on the end in the relative clause. Ich weiß nicht, was passieren will. Was passieren wird. I do not know what will happen. We will not shop in Spain. Wir werden. And I'm thinking the nicht goes towards the end. Wir werden in Spanien nicht kaufen. Nicht einkaufen. Wir werden in Spanien. Wir werden in Spanien nicht einkaufen gehen. Question is, do I need the gehen? I'm going to say we do. I will not go shopping in Spain. It looks like it would have taken it without gehen, but it took it with it. Ich werde hier warten. I am going to wait here. Yeah, this is. I said I wasn't gonna. I'm thinking if somebody said, "Oh, I'm going to run inside and take care of some business. Do you want to come with me?" And they said, "I will wait here." Right? That would sound a little bit unnatural. I'm going to wait here. And again, I have a worksheet for this, but to explain why you would say one and not the other, hard for me to put into a hard and fast rule. So I always check my worksheet to make sure I get it right. All right, anyway. All right, so he will do better. He will do better. How do you say, I'm not looking at the notes here. How do you say will do better in Great Britain? Wird besser machen? All right, let's just try this. Oh, wait. All right, so we have a capital E for S. So I'm going to say es wird ihm. It will to him besser gehen in Großbritannien. Yeah, it will to him better go in Great Britain. He will do better in Great Britain. Wird ihm besser gehen in Großbritannien. Oh, I didn't like it. Es wird ihm in Großbritannien besser gehen. Yes, I should know better. The verb tends to be in the second position or way out towards the end. All right, I'm going to play this so people can listen along. Oops.
Du wirst nicht nach Kanada gehen.
Du wirst nicht nach Kanada gehen. Oops. Du wirst nicht nach Kanada gehen. You will not walk towards Canada. You will not go to Canada.
Wir werden mit ihm reden.
All right, I'm going to say, oh, will it work? Wir werden mit ihm reden. All right, I took it. Wir werden mit ihm reden. All right, this is going to be my last one, and then I will take a round and say goodbye to everybody because we're just about out of time. I forgot what he said. Wann wirst du gehen? Wann wirst du gehen? All right, that's good. All right. Well, once again, if you guys like this, make sure to leave a comment in the chat or thumbs up or watch it again sometime while you're doing the dishes, that sort of thing. Yeah, so hopefully this was interesting. And again, this is something that I am doing as much for you guys as for my own opportunity, right? I could practice on my own, and that would be fine. But, if you guys are getting something out of coming along for the ride, that's fine. And I'll be happy to keep doing this as long as it is of interest. So, Shamanyo, ich danke dir. Und alle andere, vielen Dank und bis bald. Danke für heute, Holly. Wie sagt man treu? Mein treuer Hund. People who are just coming into this whole series are going to be mad that I said that. Es geht immer besser mit Freunden. Ja, das stimmt. Und mach jetzt bitte I'm looking for the hang up button, and here it is. So, letzte Chance, pardon, das ist deine letzte Chance. Auf Wiederhören. Tschüss.